This is the GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
We are taking pride in outstanding performance. We are encouraging and recognizing innovation. We are committed to continuously doing things better, with enhanced services coming soon. Yes, we are here for you. Check us out today for your financial need. GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
This is the GBN Television News from Monday, March 22nd, 2021. I'm Chrislyn, Lashington. In the headlines, Grenada Union of Teachers to end the final week of school with heightened protest action for a 4% salary increase. Jaden Stanislaus of Hillsborough Secondary School in Grenada is Grenada's best brain. Chantemelle residents demanding justice, saying enough is enough as one villager goes missing. Former political leader of the National Democratic Congress and resident of the community, Joseph Andel, is our analyst tonight. In Around the Globe, floods sweep across Sydney, Australia. UN Refugee Agency warns against displacement crisis intensifying in Mozambique. And coming up in sports, St. David leapfrogs to top of the table in the Grenada Premier League T20 as semi-final spots are secured, while sports minister was part of the send-off team as the Spice Boys departed for El Salvador on Saturday. Details right after this message.
This is GBN, the nation's news leader. This segment is brought to you by Quartz Grenada Limited.
We are all essential in the fight against COVID-19.
At Quartz, we're doing our part and we encourage you to stay at home, stay safe and shop online at www.shopquartz.com.
For added convenience, our Quartz online customers will receive free delivery and get up to 20% off televisions, appliances and homewares. Plus, if you shop with Ready Finance, you will pay nothing down for 60 days. Now, you can stay home, shop online, and save.
Remember, do the essential. Wear a mask, wash your hands, practice social distancing, stop the spread.
Good evening. This is GBN's News at 7. A robbery has left one man missing and residents of Chantemelle St. Patrick demanding justice. Residents say the one to blame is another resident who has been terrorizing them since his arrival by claiming their land, killing their animals, and destroying their properties. Now, residents say they believe his actions have led to the disappearance of a community member. Trulana Charles has the details.
Rodney Bucky Neckles was the victim of a robbery while at his shop on Thursday. Video footage circulating on social media shows a man who is said to be in police custody entering the shop and, after a short back and forth, collecting money from Neckles, who is currently missing. Sandra Neckles, the wife of the missing man, said the community has been victimized by her next-door neighbor, who they have taken to court multiple times but received no justice. She says the individual has now gone too far and alleges that because of him, her husband is missing. She spoke to GBN about the turn of events that led to her husband's disappearance.
He tell me some guys come and they surround in the counter in the shop and telling him, pass the money, how they come to kill us. You know, so he had to pass the money and he ended up giving them all the money in the shop. Yeah, and after that he just, like, I don't know if he gone off or whatever. And then when I gone back to work on Friday, in the evening now, he called me and telling me not to come home. You have men there, they want to kill us and those kind of things. And he ended up by some friends and he was up there. They give him, he said he wants a bottle of water and a Bible and he disappeared. They don't know where he gone to.
She said the man seen in the camera footage told her husband he came to collect money on behalf of the neighbor with whom they had an altercation at an earlier date.
I'm watching his yard. I see 2 pieces of felicity wood. Look at them on the ground there. I said, that's mine. So I went over to collect it. And in that time I went over to collect it. He come out on us, we go up on him. My husband flashed a cutlass. The cutlass fell on the ground and he said the cutlass cut him, but that wasn't true. That wasn't so. So that is what he said he want compensation for. He want compensation for that. What about all the things on him? He damaged us. He mashed up my pig pen. He cut up all my camera lines, all those things on them. He damaged them. And where is the compensation? We in court with him, how much time for we land, he's spraying them, he damaging all my son's stuff. He want compensation. For what? What he want compensation for?
She explained that the members of the community have tried to take the neighbor to court for over 3 years, but the cases keep getting pushed back.
The magistrate and the doctor like they working together. When he had to go in court, he on sick leave. When you actually go to the court, the magistrate put it up for another date. Up to now, the thing can come to a conclusion. So asking the Minister of Health to security, to intervene in this thing. This thing just going on and no conclusion. Look at my husband missing now.
Residents of Shantimel, who all gathered at the shop to lend support, are now saying enough is enough. And if they cannot seek justice through the courts, they will take matters into their own hands.
He ain't do nothing, he's a quiet fella, you know, never in no confusion, nothing in nobody. But from since that criminal come around here, I'm always seen everybody around here, even me is so modest.
Long Bucky and this guy there having a conflict. He always saying the land here is his and the land here is his. So I don't know what is the problem, I don't know. And if they have any evidence that the man is associated in any way, shape or form with Bucky disappearance, they suppose 4 days going on to step in already, right? Because if they don't step in, we, the community of Shantimel, will step in.
While this was all going on, the accused neighbor came out of his house, opened all the doors of his vehicle, turned up his music, and began threatening the gathered residents. Police have issued a notice seeking the public's assistance in locating Rodney Nichols, alias Bucky, 58 years old, of Shantimel St. Patrick. Rodney was last seen on Thursday, March 18, 2021, at approximately 8 p.m. at Fountain St. Mark. He's about 5 feet 8 inches in height, slim built and brown in complexion. Rodney Bucky Nichols was last seen wearing a white long track pants, armless blue and a white t-shirt, and blue and white slipper. Anyone who may have information on his whereabouts is asked to contact the nearest police station. Trelana Charles, GBN News.
Now, a few months ago, GBN broadcast a story of farmers and other villagers in Shantimel St. Patrick complaining bitterly about an individual who was allegedly terrorizing them. With the intervention of police on numerous occasions, but seemingly the wheels of justice are at a halt as the situation continued. Our guest tonight is former political leader of the National Democratic Congress and resident of the community, Joseph Andel. Welcome and thank you for joining us, sir.
Good evening, and I really wish that I could say I'm pleased to be with you, but this is a very sad and traumatic moment for everyone in the village. Bucky and I, we practically grew up together, played cricket and drafts together, and just when I heard of his disappearance, I went through some of my old albums, and I was able to pull out this photograph that I shot of Bucky in 1990, soon after I'd come back from studying in the States. We were that close, and in fact, he's even a distant relative of mine. So I really wish to extend a hand of empathy to Sandra Zinde and Zwandi, their 2 young sons. And I'm praying and hoping that this will all work out well for Bucky, his family, and the entire community of Shantimel.
You mentioned the entire community. What's the atmosphere like tonight in Shantimel?
People are angry. People are frustrated because if there is any connection at all, if it is proven that there is any connection at all between the individual that you mentioned and the disappearance of Bucky and the robbery at his business place, it would mean that the justice system has failed us, and in particular has failed the Neckles family. Because this is a matter that has been ongoing for several years. And whether it be through loopholes in the law or negligence or otherwise, this matter is seemingly without any road towards a conclusion. And it therefore means that the people are losing trust and confidence in the system, which is very dangerous. When people get to the point where they feel that the state can no longer protect them, then you know that the law of the jungle is most likely the one that is going to prevail. And we sincerely hope and pray that we do not get to that. The people have been trying to maintain their calm for a number of years, but there is only so much that people can take.
I understand that. I mean, you mentioned the authorities failing its citizens. I mean, this community is clearly living in fear. And GBN has learned that the individual in question has in excess of 100 charges against him. What do you say to this?
It shows that we need serious and urgent overhaul of our justice system. For a situation like that to escalate to the point where one can accumulate so many charges, and yet there being no resolution to any of them, this will lead to frustration. It will lead to people taking the law into their hands, and that is a road that we sincerely do not want to go. We do not want to go the route of some of our Caribbean neighbors where people take the law into their hands and everything descends into chaos and en masse. So I'm making an appeal to the authorities, to law enforcement, and to those responsible for the administration of justice to please not treat this as a routine matter. This is a matter literally of life and death. This is a matter of people not feeling secure in and on their property. And that has to be dealt with as of yesterday, and that still won't be soon enough.
Just to note here that an invitation was extended to the Royal Grenada Police Force to be our guest. However, that request was turned down. Thank you, Mr. Andal. Wishing the community of Shantimel well.
Yes, I'm truly heartbroken by this, and I am praying and hoping that we find Bucky soon.
Indeed, I'm hoping the same. Thank you so much for joining us. Moving forward, Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health and former Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Francis Martin, has resigned. There has been no official word from government about this latest development, and when contacted for a comment, Dr. Martin asked for more time before speaking on the issue. Meanwhile, the GBN's Beyond the Headlines tonight delves into Grenada 1 year after recording the first case of COVID-19 in the country. Panelists will look at the impact the pandemic has had on varying sectors. Our guests tonight are Nicholas Steele, Health Minister, Hannah St. Paul, Permanent Secretary for Hospital and Community Health Services, Mike Sylvester, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, and Chrissy Worm Charles, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Social Development. I'm sure that's going to be a heated discussion. Be sure to tune in. This is News at 7 coming up. If your U.S. visa expired and you're worrying about its renewal, worry no more, as the U.S. Embassy makes the process a little easier.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. we have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here, even when the future seems unclear. Because one thing is certain, you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Paying is faster and easier with Glow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/fastpay and press Consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Flow, keeping you connected.
Introducing Color by Sissons. 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 Color by Sissons.
Man, a real mad. Sunday, March 28th from 6 p.m. We're kicking off another massive Waggity Virtual Bingo as the March Madness deals continue. And this time, you can win $10,000 US. What? Yes, $10,000 US. And tickets are only $8 US. Hold up, $8 US? I tell all your Waggy gone mad. In Grenada, tickets are available at gotofed.com or from numerous box offices island-wide and our main office on Bruce Street Mall. If you're overseas, tickets are only available at gotofed.com. Sunday, March 28th, join the madness and enjoy all the fun and excitement online. Play Waggity Virtual Bingo, the new way to play bingo.
Ridgeway Residences, a modern, exclusive residential community offered by Ariza. Purchase one of our completely built houses or let us build for you by simply choosing your lot, choosing your home design from our selection, and let us do the rest. Owning a home does not have to be a frustrating process. For more information, contact Ariza Credit Union on 415-0994 or send us an email on info@ridgewayresidences.gd. Ridgeway Residences, hassle-free home ownership.
How going on, boy? Hey, good old things. Hey, Daisy. Yeah. Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day. Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service. Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy. Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here, even when the future seems unclear. Because one thing is certain. You're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
The Grenada Union of Teachers is not letting up in their demand for public servants' 4% salary increase, as well as other benefits for public officers. While not disclosing their planned activities, the union's president promises continued action in the coming days. A press conference was held Monday to re-emphasize their position. Chrislyn John was there and has this report.
Actions will continue. The exact form how our actions will unfold will be determined as time goes by. But the fact that we have a struggle for a just increase, the fact that we're struggling for respect for a collective agreement, the fact that we're struggling for the dignity of workers is something that we will not relent on.
Marvin Andel, president of the Grenada Union of Teachers, as he promises not to back down as the union heightens planned protest action in coming days. He urges government to meet its obligations to public officers as he reminds them of the agreement signed between government and public sector unions back in 2019. To date, public officers are yet to receive their 4% salary increase due since January 31st, 2021. This, he says, arose grievances resulting in the actions taken by public officers. The union's president believes government can afford to pay up now despite claims of a drop in revenue.
The claim of the government is that there has been a 50% decline in revenue. And from all indications, based on the information provided on the government's own website, Finance Grenada, the lie detector determines that was a lie.
Andel gave a breakdown on why he believes government can afford to pay the 4%, which has accumulated over 3 months.
The government began recording a primary surplus based on the information that they have supplied from as early as August 2020. So there was a primary surplus. And in fact, from the information that we're seeing, the government should have been in a position to pay the 1 million in January because the primary surplus they record was 11.1 million.
President-elect Jude Bartholomew promises to continue on the path already embarked upon by current President Marvin Andel. He deemed it unfair that after years of sacrifices, workers still have to fight for what is rightfully theirs. He says they're more than just the fight for 4%.
The struggle is not only for the 4%. The 4% is now. But we're going to continue that fight for pension. So many public officers and teachers have been denied in terms of their legal pension. Can you imagine that? As we always say, it is so sad. I mean, think about it, the public, that you work hard and you give your life. You give your life on everything to the country, to our citizens, to government. And then when you're about to retire, you're just filled with pain and insult. That you're going home empty-handed in poverty.
GBN has been reliably informed that the union members have been asked to wear their red union t-shirt this week, as well as plans for a march through the town of St. George. Government has repeatedly said it is not in a position to pay the increase due to the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell says he hopes to pay in time for Christmas. Chrislyn John, GBN News.
15-year-old Jaden Stanislaus of Hillsborough Secondary School is Grenada's best brain. The Grenada National Brain Bee Challenge held its first ever closed finals over the weekend due to the COVID-19 pandemic. 11 students competed in the final. Gerard Joseph has the story.
Jaden Stanislaus took first place and will represent Grenada at the virtual International Brain Bee Championship later this year. Second place went to Naomi Danchard of Westmoreland Secondary, and Joshua Andal of Tamsisi took third place. The final had to be rescheduled from 2020 due to COVID-19, with the students continuing their preparations over the last year. Quiz master for the Grenada National Brain Bee Final was Dr. Gabriel Walcott Bido.
Given the COVID pandemic, which has reduced the in-person live competition or the risks associated with having a live competition, the Grenada Brain Bee Challenge team decided to pattern its competition after what's being done internationally. And so we introduced the concept of a hybrid classroom.
St. George's Baptist Church was the in-house location for students in Grenada, where the same content was viewed by finalists in Carriacou.
So that's the beauty of the online environment. Let's not try to mop a wave coming to the shore. Let's join and get a boat and paddle with that wave. So what the virtual environment has allowed us to do is to run this examination simultaneously. We're running it both in this venue here in Grenada as well as in Carriacou.
Walcott Bido, who is an assistant professor at SGU, says the content of the final was set at the level of what medical students learn.
So the students right now, as you would have seen, they're sitting the first part of their examination. This examination consists of three parts. It's the neuroanatomy, which is the structure and function of the brain, both macroscopically and microscopically. They have got a neurohistology component, which is the tissue structure and understanding the functions of the specific tissues that has been identified of the brain and the surrounding organs, as well as a third component, the clinical cases or patient diagnosis section.
She welcomes the virtual format, which she impresses ran smoothly and can be a format for future Brain Bee challenges.
Given the experience of the instructors and the assistant profs who have been helping, they have been able to load those questions simultaneously. The other thing is that I can have real-time results. So while the students are doing the exams, I can monitor what the students are doing virtually, and I'm seeing the results and the responses coming in lifetime. Yeah, it makes the assessment a little bit fair. So all of the students have access to the same questions.
National Coordinator Gail Blackett says Canadian students continue to perform well locally and internationally. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Congratulations to Jaden. The Fisheries Ministry has reacted swiftly to concerns by fishers about two tankers that are loafing northwest outside of Grenada's territorial waters for the past 3 weeks. Responding to reports on Friday, the Grenada Ports Authority and the Grenada Coast Guard were immediately contacted to ensure that the assets of local fishermen are being protected. Local fishers had expressed concerns that the tankers, which have been loafing outside of Grenada's waters, could cause possible damage to their long lines. However, they are also aware that the tankers are entitled to right of innocent passage under international maritime laws. Officials at the Grenada Ports Authority have since indicated that the vessels are awaiting instructions to proceed to St. Lucia. The U.S. Embassy in Bridgetown, Barbados has initiated an interview waiver for visa renewal applicants. This comes as the United States expands opportunities for people to renew their visas without making in-person visits to the U.S. Embassy in Bridgetown, Barbados. More in this report.
Previously, only those applicants whose non-immigrant visa expired within 24 months were eligible for an interview waiver. This period has been temporarily extended to 48 months until December 31st, 2021. Any applicant whose visa expired within 48 months before the date of application is eligible for an interview waiver for a visa application in the same classification until December 31st, 2021. Sherry Noel of the Government Information Service spoke with Carl Duckworth, U.S. Chargé Affairs.
Visa has expired within the last 4 years. You may be eligible for the visa interview waiver process, which means you can go online to BBC, BB www.usembassy.gov. Check out all the material there, go through the steps, and see if you're eligible for a visa interview waiver, meaning you don't have to go to Bridgetown.
Applicants must be citizens and passport holders from countries such as Grenada, Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Dominica, St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines can now renew their visas without having to come to the U.S. Embassy in Bridgetown. The Charge d'Affaires further explained.
Or the State Department has done is expanded the visa interview waiver program throughout the end of this year. So what this really means is if you have had a certain categories of visas, and B1, B2 is one of those categories, to the United States, and it has expired in the last 4 years, you are eligible to send in your passport for renewal rather than going to do an interview. So therefore, it saves a trip.
Applicants who have not previously held a valid visa or whose visa expired more than 48 months ago will be required to appear at the U.S. Embassy for an in-person interview.
The airport closed in Grenada, of course, during COVID. So what happened is that made it very difficult for certain people from the United States to fly here, or I should say Grenadians, to fly from the United States here. So if you had overstayed your visa, you probably would have to go in and explain the situation, and you'll probably have to do that interview.
Chrislyn John, GBN News.
Now we turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Chalana Charles has been looking around the platforms.
This is Social Buzz, where we shine a light on the thoughts and concerns of our online audience. Referring to the Minister of Health, Nicholas Steele's statement on the COVID-19 vaccine possibly becoming mandatory for frontline workers, Attorney of Law Jerry Edwin said the minister's statement was unwise and foolish. He said such an action can create havoc throughout the country.
It is unfortunate, and I know that's a nice word we use in polite language here, whenever someone speaks foolishness, because that's what it is. Because Grenadians must be up in arms to hear a government official say that there is a possibility we may be forced.
Our online audience were quick to share their thoughts on the situation. Dahlia commented, "No state can force vaccine on the public, but mandatory vaccine is required for healthcare workers. That is TB. So should COVID vaccine. Healthcare workers must protect themselves in order to protect their patients. If you don't want to do so, then one needs to ask themselves, is this the right profession for me?" Ron added, "We are all well knowledgeable enough about the stakes at hand. We are not children who need to be forced into any of their measures. At the end of the day, we are all responsible for our own health. And as far as human rights is concerned, everyone should have freedom to make our own choices." Darrell commented, "It can be made a condition of employment. Then you choose whether you want to work at that particular job. That is most certainly legal." Darrell wrote, "Here's the problem. If you all Grenadians don't want to wear masks, don't wash your hands, don't sanitize on the buses and in stores anymore, or social distance, then how do you move forward and restore your economy and protect lives? We understand it is a personal choice. Let's have the reasons why each person does not want to take the vaccine and address their concerns. We know vaccines save lives. This is a known thing as we all have been vaccinated for smallpox, for one. Millions of children are alive today because of vaccines. Show respect. Find out in town hall meetings, socially distanced, of course, and have the doctor answer people's questions in person. Grenada cannot stand a full-on island-wide spread of COVID. All of those on the island would die from poor care and not enough healthcare personnel or facilities." That's it for tonight's Social Buzz. If you would like to have your thoughts and concerns shared, be sure to comment on GBN's Facebook page.
From the thought process to the visual impact, let's take a peek through the GBN EyeSaw lens.
A good eye catches all. GBN EyeSaw is brought to you by Clear Vision.
You know us, but we knew. You feel at home with every visit.
an experienced team offering personalized courtier service and trendy brand name lifestyle products. We're changing the vision care landscape one customer at a time. Clear Vision Eye Center. People and technology coming together to help you see the world with a clearer vision.
Tonight's eyesore is far from appealing as it features garbage dumped close to a home in the area of Grand Roy and St. John. Our eyesore reporter said they are submitting the pictures with hopes that it draws the attention of the Ministry of Health, who in turn can do something to remedy the issue, which is causing a rat infestation. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Still ahead, NAWASA celebrates World Water Day and 30 years of service. This is News at 7.
Grenada, are you ready? Football is back with the first round of the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Grenada versus the U.S. Virgin Islands at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Your Spice Boys are back in action. Tuesday, 30th March. Game time, 7 p.m. sharp with no fans in the stands. No fans?
Well, we're making our own party.
We're broadcasting live on Flow Grenada, channels 1000 and 1001.
And I'll be streaming that on my big screen TV, cooking up Pato Island.
Call Flow today to add your channel for only $20.
Well, it's mass with me and my family.
That's right. Support your 3-time Gold Cup qualifier, Team Grenada. For more info, call or WhatsApp 473-535-2090 or 440-9903. Sponsored by Glenelg Spring Water, Flow, and the Grenada Cooperative Bank.
Once upon a time, we shopped at Wonderland, then Neverland. But we're all grown up now and no longer believe in fairy tales. So now we just shop at Shoes R Us. At Shoes R Us, we stock the latest in shoes, tops, and jeans for the fashion-conscious lady. We also carry colognes and much, much more. And for the modern trendy male, we have the latest brand name shoes and sneakers, Converse, Reebok, Nike, K-Swiss, Puma, and much more. So check us out at our 2 convenient locations, Melville Street in St. George and Ben Jones Street in Granville. At Shoes R Us, we say, come shop with us.
Message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
The Public Utilities Regulatory Commission will host its 7th public consultation on Tuesday, March 23rd at Players Level 1, National Stadium, Queen's Park, St. George's. That session will discuss the draft network license, Grenada Electricity Services Limited, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. The document can be reviewed online at www.purc.gd. For more information or to reserve booking, call the PERC on 437-1602 or email consultation@purc.gd. The session will also be carried live on GIS Facebook and GBN's Facebook pages. The PERC, protecting your interests. Get involved. Your voice matters.
We understand it can be hard getting from the bus terminal to the Kirani James Athletic Stadium just to get your fresh fruits and veggies. Well, guess what? Your troubles are over. Enjoy a free bus shuttle from the bus terminal to the temporary market at the Kirani James Stadium
every Friday and Saturday until the end of March.
Let us buy local, eat local, and support our local market vendors.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Your hard work, talent, and creativity, plus Flow, equals more ways to chase your dreams. Flow is connecting all of Grenada, from Point Salines to Hillsborough, with the most reliable connection on the island. So now everyone can work, study, and keep moving forward together. Visit discoverflow.co for more information.
NWASA celebrates World Water Day today, Monday, March 22nd, 2021, under the theme Valuing Water. Activities planned are in keeping with the selected theme and overall as part of NWASA's Pearl celebration. 30 years of service to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Communications Supervisor Jamila Lewis sat with the Chair of Global Water Partnership Caribbean, Trevor Thompson, to discuss the importance of water. She highlighted the many ways water is essential.
This year's theme is Valuing Water. However, due to the pandemic, this year's event is virtual, hence the reason why we are actually doing the official launch virtually. Water's nature lends itself to be used in various ways, right from household chores to industries. As part of the Sustainable Development Goal, it is to provide water and sanitation for all. While we are yet to achieve it, this makes it all the more imperative for us to preserve water, but this year for us to value this precious resource more. On November 22nd, 2020, NWASA celebrated a Pearl celebration. 30 years of service to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Our year celebration is being observed under the theme Water, Service, Technology, and Beyond.
Stay with us. The weather and sports are up next.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
Valley Pharmacy offers both wholesale and retail pharmaceutical and over-the-counter products. We have the most competitive and affordable prices. We are the agents for Vic Plus multivitamin for healthy everyday lifestyle and Sanatogen powder. Hills and Valley Pharmacy supplies the best quality, name brand clinical products such as Rescue Oil, Bio Oil, Neutrogena, Aveeno, and Clarisil. We offer the most convenient opening hours. Our telephone numbers are 435-6904 or 6903. Remember, at Hills and Valley Pharmacy, your health is our business. We care.
Now open, Hills and Valley Medicare Center, your one-stop for medical supplies, massage therapy, physiotherapy, and an in-house physician. At Hills and Valley, your health is our business.
Do you know what time it is? You guessed right, it's detox time again. At
Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. Purchase our 7-day cleansing pack for only $500. Includes everything you need for a complete total body cleanse. Cleanse your blood, kidney, liver, and colon. This cleanse will help you lighten up and get rid of the excess. Also available are our special product Detox Combo Pack for only $100. Try our single detox products starting from $40. Check us out now. Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area, or call us on 231-6642, 449-7753, or 418-7115. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. Detox, your way to health.
Keeping an eye on the weather, this is GBN. We've got you covered.
Tonight's weather, let's take a look. The minimum temperature 24.5 degrees Celsius. The weather is expected to be partly cloudy with light showers. Winds east northeasterly to east southeasterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour. Seas moderate with waves 5 to 7 feet in open water. There are no warnings at this time. Tides, however, are high at 11 tonight and low at 5 in the morning. On Tuesday, we're looking at mostly fair and breezy with light morning showers. Middle of the week, Wednesday, the weather is expected to be partly cloudy with light isolated showers. And finally, our look at Thursday's weather. It's looking partly cloudy with light isolated showers. That's it for your weather forecast on GBN News. It was a clinical performance from St. David in its top-of-the-table clash with St. George in the final match of the first round of the NLA Grenada Premier League T20 on Sunday. With a star-studded lineup, which included Andre Fletcher, who scored 23 runs, and Roland Cato, who smashed 44, St. David tallied 142 runs for 6 wickets.
And the award today to Roland Cato for his outstanding knock of 44, which included 4 touring sixes, will be presented by Andy Noel. Cato, just a few words with you. Certainly good to have you guys back in the tournament, and you certainly made your statement coming in today.
Yeah, most definitely. It's always nice to come back and play for your parish and performing and making the team win.
All right, seems to have been a different batting strip for you compared to the other batsmen. We see even some of your top order batsmen, they may have been struggling timing, but you certainly hit it in the middle from ball one.
Yeah, it's not the type of wicket you could just come in and blast off. We had to give yourself time, so we as batsmen who get the start, we had to try our best to carry on. Unfortunately, I didn't carry on as long as I wanted to, but hopefully there's more games to come. So.
In reply, St. George, who was previously unbeaten in all matches, was bounced off from top of the standings after being restricted to 61 runs all out.
Yeah, we batters didn't come off as we wanted to, so we hope in next match that they could do better and we could go hard on train and come back next game and do what we're supposed to do.
All right, you will be playing semi-final number 2 here next Saturday at the National Stadium versus St. Patrick's. Are the guys looking forward to that encounter?
Yeah, we're very looking. Matter of fact, we're looking for all encounters, but as you say, we had to go home and do homework and come hard in the semis.
All right, no, you had a few injuries in the camp leading into today. Anything serious that probably might keep some of those players out for the next match?
I don't think so. I think next match we still back in full strength. Some guys who are injured so to come back. So the rest of this game to come back for the semis. So let's hope all goes well and we can get back with players to come on top of the semis to end up in, well, not to end up, but will end up in the finals.
Imran Joseph and Jaron Noel for St. David returned with figures of 3 wickets for 8 runs and 3 wickets for 9 runs, respectively. Next weekend, semi-final 1 will be at St. David. St. Andrew will be a St. David-St. Andrew matchup, and St. George against St. Patrick in semi-final 2. St. Andrew secured its semi-final berth in a do-or-die match against St. Mark on Saturday. St. Mark, batting first, scored 114 for 8 after Ronald Etienne pulled the team over the line with a sensational knock of 36 not out. However, that total proved futile as Akeem Ogist, one of the non-nationals drafted for the teams, led a comfortable chase for St. Andrew, scoring 41 not out as the team reached 115 for 4 in 17.4 overs. St. Patrick also guaranteed a semi-final spot, defeating St. John by 8 wickets in the second match on Saturday. St. John was limited to 72 runs for 8 wickets as Iman Alexander captured 4 for 13 and St. Patrick easily reaching 73 for 2 in 10 overs. Sports Minister Yolan Bain Hosford paid a courtesy call to the Spice Boys on Saturday as they departed the Maurice Bishop International Airport for El Salvador. The Spice Boys face off against 6th-ranked CONCACAF team El Salvador on March 25th before returning home to take on the U.S. Virgin Islands at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. Addressing the senior men's national team, Minister Bain Hosford extended best wishes and words of encouragement to them on their campaign in the 2022 FIFA World Cup CONCACAF qualifiers.
A lot of the times, a lot of us who have a lot of skills, I'm part of a team, I'm part of a cabinet, right? And we all have skills. But we have to bring the skills together so we can execute a lot of the things that we have to do. None of us have all the skills, right? So you might be able to knock about, whatever strategies you might be able to do, each one of you, bring it together and make sure that you work as a team and not as an individual. Don't forget that, because one individual cannot win. No way at all. And a lot of the times we lose track of that.
Minister Horsford's visit to the team on Saturday was supported by GFA executives, President Chenny Joseph and Vice President Alan James.
How these things work. So don't forget that. Follow your training. Follow whatever strategy that you all have. What your coach or whatever new strategies they might employ when they reach there and they see what's happening, Follow that and stick to it. And work together as a team. All right? Don't forget that at all. And El Salvador is a lovely place. I've been there several times. I don't know what environment you all are going in, but the environment that I went in was quite nice. So take the opportunity to enjoy a little bit of El Salvador, but you have to be safe. Try as much as you can to wear a mask, because although you have the vaccine, right, you're not going out there. You don't know what is happening out there.
Jason Holder had excellent figures of 5 wickets for 27 runs as the West Indies took full control over Sri Lanka on the opening day of the first Sandoz Test match on Sunday. The tall seam bowler engineered a batting collapse as the last 5 wickets fell for 19 runs that resulted in the visitors being bowled out for 169 on a good surface at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. Holder registered his 8th 5 wicket haul in tests of 17.4 overs and in the process reached 200 first-class wickets. He was supported by 3 for 47 from Kemar Roach, who has now taken 33 wickets at this venue in his 6th match.
Yeah, it was a really good day's play for us. I thought our bowlers, got the job done. If I'm being overcritical, maybe we didn't use the new ball as well as we probably would like. But it's good to see Kemar Roach, putting up his hand once again, leading the way for us. And then, I was able to support him. Obviously Rakim Kaur did an outstanding job holding things tightly at his end. And Shannon probably wasn't at his best today, but he still ran in and gave a really good effort, as to Alzari. So, I think all in all, a pretty good day's effort from our bowlers.
On day 2, West Indies were 120 for 3 after 51 overs. GBN continues to bring the series via Classic Radio 105. That's the sports news for now. Around the Globe is up next. Australian authorities were preparing to evacuate thousands of people on Monday from flood-affected suburbs on the western fringes of Sydney, the country's biggest city, with another day of heavy rain triggering the worst floods in 60 years. Rivers across the state of New South Wales have burst their banks amid 3 days of unrelenting rain. Al Jazeera's Nicola Gage has this report from the town of Windsor, west of Sydney.
Regions underwater and many people at breaking point. Days of torrential rain have turned parts of eastern Australia into an inland sea, ruining homes and destroying livelihoods. Several areas have been declared disaster zones and tens of thousands of people ordered to leave. Others are on standby, watching what happens next.
There's only one bridge at the moment, one road in and one road out, and then if it's cut, we're on an island.
Emergency services have been inundated with calls for help. Dozens of people trapped by rising floodwaters have been rescued, but many farm animals washed away as rivers burst their banks and dams spilled over. Communities are becoming increasingly cut off. Here in Windsor, west of Sydney, this is the main bridge, completely underwater, along with buildings, and more rain is on the way. People yet to evacuate are racing to protect homes, sandbagging properties and hoping for the best.
Yeah, it's the highest I've ever seen it. It's pretty bad.
Others are already counting the cost. So where is your business?
Yes, our business is just over the bridge there.
Patrick Muscat's business is underwater. 100 acres of lawn that he commercially grows flooded, destroying all of this season's stock, a loss of millions of dollars.
Oh, it's very scary, not knowing that's going to happen and not being there and seeing what's happening. I guess we just got to wait and see, and hopefully everyone's safe and everything's safe on the farm.
It's been a year since unprecedented bushfires burned across this region. Before that, severe drought. One emergency, it seems, after the next.
Some communities who were battered by the bushfires are now being battered by the floods, and deep drought prior to that. And I don't know any time in our state's history when we've had these extreme weather conditions in such quick succession in the middle of a pandemic.
Some are calling this a 1 in 100 year disaster, and weather experts are predicting the worst could be yet to come. Nicola Gage, Al Jazeera, Windsor.
People displaced by armed groups affiliated with ISIL in Mozambique could become radicalized if the international community and the government do not intervene soon. That is a warning from the UN's refugee agency, which has been meeting with some of the worst affected communities. Al Jazeera's Haru Mutasa reports.
The numbers keep going up in northern Mozambique, according to the UN's refugee agency. Nearly 700,000 people have been forced to flee their homes, and more than 2,000 have been killed. When Herculano's village in Kisanga came under attack one night, he fled with his wife, children and grandchildren.
I left because of the war that affected us. It was at night, so we fled into the bush. We stayed 4 days in the bush, looking for a way out and running away from the conflict.
Mozambique's government says fighters affiliated to ISIL are operating in parts of Cabo Delgado. The militant group staged its first attack in 2017. Since then, the attacks have been bigger in scale and frequency, taking on the army and at times seizing entire towns. Humanitarian workers report beheadings, rape, abductions, and other human rights abuses.
I spoke to a grandmother whose daughter was killed during the conflict, and the father of the child was beheaded, and the grandmother is now caring for that child. Another woman I met is caring for a stranger's child who is now orphaned. So this is common in this community now, where the women are caring for each other's children, where the parents have been lost.
The government has started moving people to resettlement sites where it's believed to be safer, but conditions there are basic and more funding and planning is needed to cover food, medicines and other necessities. The COVID-19 pandemic has made an already dire economic and humanitarian crisis worse.
A lot of resources are needed. We do not expect, looking at the situation, we do not expect the amount of people, the number of people being displaced to the flow to stop, unfortunately, for the time being, and therefore more assistance is needed.
The UN is warning poverty, frustration and unemployment in this gas-rich region is making it easy for armed groups to recruit. The United States says its special forces will help train soldiers in Mozambique to fight the insurgents. Portugal, the country's former colonial power, has also committed to training the military. For now, people waiting for help to arrive say they feel abandoned by their country and the international community. Haru Mutasa, Al Jazeera.
That's it for Around the Globe. A recap of the headlines next. Let's recap the headlines. Grenada Union of Teachers to end the final week of school with heightened protest action for a 4% salary increase. Jaden Stanislas of St. Hillsborough Secondary School is Grenada's best brain. Shanty Mel residents demanding justice, saying enough is enough as one villager goes missing. Former political leader of the National Democratic Congress and resident of the community, Joseph Andel, was our analyst tonight. In Around the Globe, floods sweep across Sydney, Australia, and UN Refugee Agency warns against displacement crisis intensifying in Mozambique. In sports, St. David leapfrogs to top of the table in the Grenada Premier League T20 as semi-final spots are secured, while Sports Minister was part of the send-off team as the Spice Boys departed for El Salvador on Saturday. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd or on GBN Television's Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Chrislyn Lashington. That's the news. We'll see you again. Good night.